Hey, what's going on, guys? Back with another video, and again, it's been quite a while since I've done my last video, but I don't really have an office, and I don't get a lot of time to do these. So if you see somebody walking in the background or jumping on me like a little kid, that's just the way it is around here. So let's go ahead and get started today. I want to go over a few things. Specifically, I've gotten some questions about and what I've been doing some research on, which I'm really interested in getting involved in is wholesale. Now, I know there's some that people out there that are all about wholesale. They're all about retail arbitrage, or they're all about online arbitrage and retail arbitrage, or they're all about private label. Look, you can do all of those things if you want to. It doesn't have to be one or the other. It does take money. It does take money to do all of them. Um, but I really think wholesale is a great way to potentially make some money, and you don't necessarily have to you can kind of get your feet wet with either doing like retail arbitrage, going to clearance at Walmart. It's a good way to get started, but wholesale is a good way too, but it's going to cost a little more money because you're probably going to have to buy in quantities of, I mean, depending on the item size or quantity, you might have to buy 300, 400 or more. And that can get pricey, especially at 7, 8, $10 a piece. You're gonna need thousands of dollars to do that, but there are some exceptions to that. So let's just talk about, first of all, how do you get access to these wholesale sites, and what are you going to need? So first things you're going to need, um, going to have a wholesale certificate. Okay. um, I can't really walk you through that unless you're in Pennsylvania. I can't really help you out with that, but you're going to have some type of wholesale certificate for most of the wholesalers. Why? Because if they're going to sell it to you tax free. In order to take that and sell that on Amazon or eBay or wherever you're going to sell it at, if you're going to get it tax free, you have to have that wholesale certificate so you can buy it via your state. So you can buy it. There are some exceptions. I have found some wholesalers will deal with you without having a wholesale certificate. However, you're going to pretty much need to get one of those. So how do you get one of those? Um, what you're going to need to do is, first, you would have to go to Inkfile or wherever you'd want to go. There's plenty of different places. Open up your own business, and you're going to need an EIN number. It sounds daunting. There was a video that Paul made about this. I think I paid like 200 some dollars for my business name, the documents, the EIN. Once you get that EIN, you'll be able to take that EIN and you'll be able to apply for your state for the wholesale license. Now, in Pennsylvania, it doesn't cost anything. In other states, there is fees, I understand. It depends on your state, though. You're going to have to find out. You're going to have to look at your state's website or check out a YouTube video. Somebody might have it for your state, and you're going to have to figure out how to do that. Now, once you've gotten the wholesale certificate, how do I find wholesalers? You might be asking. I'm going to show you guys a way to find wholesalers that doesn't involve getting up off your butt at all, doesn't involve going to trade shows, doesn't involve going to look for them I know a lot of people with wholesale, they talk about, and I'm sure it's a great way. I've never done it, but let's say there's a barbecue sauce that's selling well. That's not like a big time barbecue sauce. So you go and you find them on Amazon, and you find their contact information on the web. You contact them and say, hey, I'm interested in doing wholesale. What do I have to do? Can I do that? And that's a great way to find wholesale products. If you want to do that, that's a great model. I think if you're going to do wholesale um, as a business, you're going to have to do that at some point. However, there's a lot of wholesale vendors out there that will sell to Amazon sellers that you don't need to go out and do any of that. So how do I find them, you're asking? So I'm going to show you today how to find some of those. And what they'll do is they'll actually email you spreadsheets. They'll email you deals via email every day. And you'll see updates every day. What you can do is you can take that ASIN and you can try to find what would be profitable using Jungle Scout or Helium 10. I'm going to show you how to do that today. So let's not waste any more time. So I talked about what you're going to need. You're going to need an EIN number. You're going to need a wholesale certificate in order to buy tax-free goods, more than likely. Again, there are exceptions to that, but Um, I'm telling you how to do it the right way. So I use Inkfile personally. Great site. It's going to take maybe a week or two to get your stuff in, and then you would take that information, go to your state's website, fill out the proper forms. You're going to have to look it up for your state. Again, unless you're in Pennsylvania, I couldn't help you. But if you are in Pennsylvania, I could probably help you out if you message me. I can point you in the right direction. So let's go ahead and jump in. So where I like to go, and this is kind of where I started, guys. This is where it all began for me. Um, I started selling sheets, just like meeting people, selling sheets. I bought them wholesale because somebody I knew um, told me about this website because I was just really interested in it. And he told me about this website, and I could actually show you the site where I started buying sheets from. I actually don't see it on here. But basically, I bought sheets and pillows, and I would sell them to people locally via Facebook flea market. That's kind of how I got my start. So this website, it's old. It's been around for a long time, but it really has some great uses on finding some wholesalers that people might not know how to do or might not know about. And today I'm going to show you how to do that. So let's go ahead and take a look. Let's kind of search around the site and see what we can find. Um, First things first. So you get all these different categories, okay? Let's actually check out. I've never tried a trade show one, by the way. I'm curious to try that. Again, I'm just getting my feet wet with wholesaling myself. So let's check out advanced search, okay? So if you guys go to wholesalecentral.com, you want to go to advanced search. So what we're going to do here, we're going to look for some of the good ones. You can look for like as seen on TV. Um, it'll kind of lead you to some good suppliers. You can check out like all these different categories, but what you specifically want to look for, United States. Don't want to worry about what state, just the United States. You want to look for a distributor. So let me real quick just break this down, and this is how I understand it. Again, not a wholesale expert, but this is what I understand. So you have a manufacturer. Look, if you truly find the manufacturer of an item, let's take like I don't know, Disney, okay? People like me or you, unless you're like a big timer, you're not gonna go to Disney and be like, hey, I want to buy 100 units of the Mickey Mouse toy off you. They're gonna laugh in your face, and they'll probably tell you you're gonna pay retail like everybody else. So why are there distributors? Distributors, what they do is they're the middlemen, but you have to have them because what they do is they go to the manufacturer directly, and they say, look, I'm gonna buy 10,000 units of your Mickey Mouse toy or whatever toy. I'm just using that as an example. And then 10,000 units of this toy and 10,000 units of that toy. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go sell those to other people, like me or you. So really, you want to look for a distributor because the distributors are the ones that are going to be able to give you those wholesale prices that you can in turn take, put on Amazon or eBay, and then go ahead and sell and make a profit. So, another one would be like a closeout. Okay, closeouts would be kind of a little different, but let's say a close or a wholesaler might be the same thing. But closeout broker or liquidator, like maybe they buy a ton of items on clearance or items that weren't selling, or items that are last year's model, whatever. They buy them out. They get them great prices, and they probably are going to be, in my experience, lower prices than what you'll get from a distributor. But you take that, like the closeout, they may have thousands of items they bought off somebody, and they're selling them off 100 at a minimum order quantity at a time. So, closeout brokers or liquidators can be great as well to get some good deals. Maybe the best deals. So let's kind of stick with distributors and closeouts. Wholesalers might be all right too, but I mean for this purpose, let's check out like just distributors. Okay. So merchandise type, we're not gonna worry about that. Um, and let's see, like as seen on TV is good. Um, Really, any of these would be a good category to check out. But I just know like that as seen on TV leads to some good suppliers. Um, Toys and toys are always a big seller, so we could check out toys. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's just go ahead and search. So what I did, just to recap, I went to Wholesale Central, Advanced Search. I'm searching under Toys and Hobbies, United States, and I'm going to search for distributors. We already talked about what a distributor is and what they kind of do and why you need them versus going directly to the manufacturer. Just you may be able to find a small time manufacturer. I doubt it though. I mean, distributors have their purpose. So anyway, let's go ahead and do a search. So what do we come up with? Let's take a look. Now, okay. Like, let's check out BTC distribution, okay? So I've gone through some of these myself. Um, there's a lot in here. I can tell you some of the good ones I've found. Um, may or may not be in here, but there's there's definitely some good ones in here. I can see it. So you can do this yourself. Let's just check. This is one of the cooler ones I've really checked out recently. So Z Best, and they say they're audio and video distributors for e-commerce. So they're specifically targeting Amazon sellers or eBay sellers. They can do consumer electronics, video games, toys, and general merchandise. This is what we want. This is the kind of seller we would want to get. Now, again, this isn't specific to like you. You didn't contact the barbecue brand and get their specific um, specific permission to do this. This is like somebody who sells a tons of different e-commerce ones. So let's go ahead and like kind of put this on a list. zbesteco.com. So a lot of times, like they're not going to have a website that's going to show you stuff. They actually just email out like lists via like just one email at a time. It'll show a product in like an ASIN, and I'm going to show you an example of that right here. So here's an example of one of the suppliers I found on this site. Um, this is foot peel mask 2-pack. So, you know what you would pay is $4.25. The minimum order quantity is 100 units, and there's the ASIN. So I've already pulled up this ASIN. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Okay. I'm gonna pull up this ASIN right now. Give me 1 second. HR1. All right. So cool. So I've pulled this one up. So just to kind of recap, here's how this works. So what I did is I went here and I clicked here for your daily deal offers, right? And when you click here, it's gonna ask. Well, actually, here's all the deals right here. That's kind of neat. Like usually they send you a spreadsheet, and then the reason you want the spreadsheet, like the Excel spreadsheets, because they're up to date. Like the reason they don't have websites a lot of times is because they just can't continually update the website. They have to have like a spreadsheet because they're getting stuff in all the time. So you want to get on like their email list. So this is just one example. There's a ton of different suppliers in there that you can check out. If you get on their email list, you'll see what they send. So you can see they have some good stuff in here. They have Barbie. If I click on this, I mean, there you go. There's Barbie right there. 400 available, minimum order quantity 200, price is $15. So you have to see like how do I know if it's profitable? Now many of you probably know how to do that, but I'm just going to go over it for you and I'll recap how we can even do it with some free tools. But you can see they sell NCAA. Here's the thing. Before we even get into this, a lot of this stuff you're probably going to be gated in, which means that you're not going to be able to sell on, especially if you're a new seller. So you might be like, man, Barbie, I'm going to go sell Barbie right now. Then you try it and it doesn't work. Now, how can I see if I'm gated in a specific product? You would take the ASIN that I just typed in, and you would go ahead and type that in under your Seller Central account, where you would go to add products. You would type in that ASIN, and it'll tell you if you can sell it or not in new condition. Sometimes it'll auto approve you for stuff depending on your metrics. Other times you're gonna have to find another way to get ungated. If you really want to get ungated in specific things, a lot of times the funnel guru can do it for you. It does cost money, but if you get ungated in certain categories and you can keep hitting those categories with product, then you can make some money. So I have used the Funnel Guru for some things. He's really great. I would definitely recommend him. Um, he won't be able to do like big. Don't ask about big brands because when I mean like Nike and stuff, because you'll get dinged anyway because they're gonna eventually ask you for an invoice. You're not gonna have one, and you're gonna get kicked off Amazon. You don't want that. So um, don't worry about these big brands. Where the money can be made is on these smaller brands that like nobody knows about anyway. A lot of times it can be made on these smaller brands. So anyway, let's check this out. Okay, here's those foot peelers I was looking at. I showed you an example. This is what an email would look like. It would have the distributor up here. It'll have the name of the product. It shows you a picture, shows you the cost you pay, what your minimum order quantity is, and then the ASIN. So I've typed in the ASIN right here, and this is what it comes up with. So what I like to use to check out Wholesale Central is I'll go down. First of all, I have both. I have Keepa and I have Wholesale Central. Keepa still does work, but what I really like about I have the Helium 10 extension. It's a free extension. It has its revenue calculator on it, which is really nice. So what I would do here is they already have everything kind of put in there, the fees and everything. I'll just type in 425. Oops. And it's going to tell me I'm going to make $3.06 per item. Now, a couple other things you want to consider. First, I don't know how much it's going to be to ship those items. Now, these aren't huge items. Like, they're going to charge you shipping. But this isn't a huge item, so it's not going to cost a ton to ship. But a lot of times they can ship these like within days to Amazon. So you can see already where there's an advantage over private label, but there's also a lot of advantages for private label too I could talk about. We could have a whole entire show on that. But so check it out. We can actually see that this could be a profitable item. Now we need to know what the price has been. So you can kind of look back here. You can see back in December it dropped from $13.50 to $12.50. This has been a pretty stable price for like since December all the way to March. It really hasn't moved. Some other things you want to look at before you start selling a product. So we kind of talked about how to get those products on Wholesale Central. And it's not just that. Like again, look at like closeouts. Look under advanced search for those. You can find some really good suppliers. And some can even help you get ungated. I'm not going to go into detail about that, but there are some out there that will try to help you get ungated. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's check it out. You can see the sales rank. It's not horrible. It's a little better lately. So if I check out Jungle Scout, it says it's selling about 6 a day, 133 a month. So it is selling. There are variations of this, so that's a little tricky, but it looks like the 2-pack is what they're selling. That's what is selling, and that's what they're offering. So what you can do has a lot of ratings. You need to know how many sellers are selling this product. So if we check that out, see, here's the thing. This is okay. So Foot Peel is the only one currently selling it. They're also the brand name. And I don't see any other sellers on there. So that's a little concerning. I mean, why do I say that? Because if Foot Peel is the only one selling it, are they going to want you selling their product? Like, they're the brand. And I don't see any other sellers on this product. So let's try to find one I found looking through my list before. Give me just a second. I'm going to pull that up. Board game set. Let's check that out. If I can find the one right here. So I don't know what the price was. I know it was profitable. It's selling for $49.99. This was one of the examples I got from one of the sellers. So you get these massive lists, right? So you'll get like 1,000 items on like a database sheet. And they'll send you different emails every day about different products. So, you know, you look through those. It's going to take some research, but you'll find some products that'll make you some money. So let's check this one out real quick. I think what we end up paying for this, I don't know. It was like $22 maybe. Maybe give or take. I don't know exactly. I don't remember. I'm not going to go through and look for it. But you could buy, I forget how many it was too. but you could buy, let's just say it was $22. So you can make a profit of $12. That might have been more. It might have been like 24, 25. But at any rate, so you can see the sales rank has kind of dropped, gone up and down, up and down. Sales rank's pretty decent. If we check and see how many are selling, we can see there's 3 a day. That's nothing crazy. 51 a month. There's not a ton of sellers on this though, so that's what's really cool. Um, if we look, that's used, that's good. Here's how you kind of filter that out. Like, we only want to sell with prime because people are selling, only prime sellers are the ones you're really competing with for the buy box. And then new. So really, there's only one other person selling new in the buy box. So that means like they're getting the sales. They're getting 3 sales a day. So they could potentially make 30, 40 bucks a day selling this item, if they got it for that price I listed it at. So things you want to look for. First of all, get the Helium 10 extension. It's free. Just look for it, and then you have to have Chrome, and it just adds into Chrome. Get Keepa. You definitely want to check this out at Keepa too. Why? Because it shows the Amazon price. If Amazon's selling it, and if somebody keeps dropping their price, and Amazon keeps matching it, and then they raise it, Amazon matches it wherever they go, you don't want to sell that item. Amazon, you're probably not going to beat Amazon on the price. You can compete with Amazon in the buy box, when I understand, but I try to avoid items that share it with Amazon. You may know more about that, and you may be able to sell with Amazon. I think you can. It's just if you're going to try to undercut Amazon and they keep matching you, you're not going to be able to. Now, if you see the price has dropped and Amazon's on the screen, they don't sell this one because you can see Amazon's not on there. But if Amazon were selling this item, then if they kept matching you and you kept going low and they kept matching you, you're not going to beat Amazon. But if you go down like $1 or $2 and Amazon doesn't match you, you can sell with Amazon on there. So first thing I would kind of like to do, try to see if Amazon's selling the item. There's only one other seller on this. It would actually be a nice buy. You'd probably sell 1 or 2 a day. You'd share the buy box with one other seller because there's only one prime seller selling it right now. So yeah, you could make some money off. You can maybe make, let's say that was the price. You can make probably $10 to $15 a day on the average selling this item. And the minimum order quantity, let's say it was 100. You'd have to come up with a couple $1,000 because let's say if it was 24 and you had 100 minimum order quantity, that'd be 2,400 bucks. But you could potentially sell out of those. You're talking about 1.5 a day. The guy right now is selling, because there's no competition, he's selling 3 a day. So you can do the math, 3 into 100, like 33 days it would take him. It would take you double that if you were both selling it. So it'd probably take you 60, maybe a couple months to sell out. And you'd be making 10 to 15 bucks a day, assuming nobody else jumps on it, assuming he doesn't try to undercut you. So there's some tricky things with wholesale. But you're going to run into the same stuff with retail arbitrage or online arbitrage. You're not going to get that on private selling because it's your product and you're the one that's selling it. You're not going to have other people to compete with, at least on your listing. You are going to be competing with other private label sellers in your category. So hopefully this helps you out, guys. This is kind of a cool way to get different wholesale listings and emails. You're going to get constant emails then, bombarded by these, and this is one of the better ones I've found. So if I back up here and I look through here, like BTC distribution, I know I'm on their mailing list too. You can register right here. All you do is you put your information in and your phone number and such, and then what they'll do is they'll email you. Sometimes they won't let you buy unless you have a wholesale certificate. And again, I talked about that. You got to have one. Some will, some won't. There are some that will even help you get ungated for a price. They'll basically send you like a test invoice. You'll send it into Amazon, and if Amazon approves you, you can't get like the money back that they send in to try to get you ungated, but you can get the product investment money back. It's interesting, but you guys are going to have to look for that themselves. I'm not going to give up all the goodies. I am going to tell you that there's some good stuff on these if you guys take a look, and if you decide to jump on Wholesale Central and check it out. I think Closeout Central is a similar site you can kind of do the same thing on. I haven't really looked into that one much, but basically, like if we check out Closeouts, for example, for toys, just looking through, there's them again. They're decent. There's them again. There's gonna be some good ones in there. You just gotta have to go through, and it's real quick. What you would do is just enter in your email and your contact info, and they'll send you an email. And if they have database sheets, they'll send them to you, but they won't necessarily let you buy until you get an account and until you actually have that wholesale certificate, which I do have. So you could do this, and you could do retail arbitrage, and you could do a private label, which is what I tend to talk about, and I've been doing. So there's a lot of options with Amazon. Don't listen to anybody that tells you Amazon's dead and it's impossible. It's not. There's so many different ways to make money on this on Amazon, but you do have to have money to make money. Just the bottom line, you gotta have money to set up the business. You gotta have money to get the wholesale certificate. You gotta have money to buy the product. Don't let anybody fool you and tell you otherwise. I mean, yeah, you can start with retail arbitrage really cheap, but and yeah, you can start that way if that's that's how I started. I started real cheap. I started buying dollar books in the Dollar Tree store, and I started selling those. And sometimes I'll make $3 or $4 on those. Sometimes, I just went through all kinds of books. Sometimes I can make, 20, $30 in an hour by looking through a bunch of books. Then I'd get undercut, and a lot of it was a pain in the butt. So it just depends on what kind of model you want to do. So anyway, guys, just give you a quick update on what has been going on with my sales. And I want to do another video on PPC. I've really been aggressively going after PPC, and it's really been paying off. I watched a video that Paul sent me. The woman talks about how you can kind of take over, and you want to get different badges. What I mean by a badge is like, if I search for if I'm selling a basket, like a brown kitchen basket, maybe when you search for brown fruit basket, I come up as the top seller, or if you search for fruit basket for kitchen, I come up as the top seller. There's certain Amazon choice badges or searches you can come up for, and in order to get up there, you're gonna have to spend a ton of money on PPC, but it can pay off big time, and that's what I've been doing. So I've spent as much as $160 in one day on PPC. But I had an amazing day that day. I sold $1,500 worth of merchandise in that day, and almost 50 items that day. And that's just with two main products. I mean, I have one other dinky product. I don't think I sold any of those that day. So I sold 50 products out of two products, 1,500 in sales, and my badges are going up, so my organic sales are rising. So you have to think about that. There's a lot to that. I want to go over that eventually. Really cool stuff there. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys really get something out of this video about wholesale. And please hit me up in the comments, subscribe, and like my channel. I'd really appreciate that. If you guys have something else you want me to cover, I will. I have a lot of knowledge now. I've been doing relentless study, and I'm launching some new products. I have gone from $1,500 in product a year ago to now I'm spending $30,000-$40,000 getting new products. So it's gotten crazy how big the business has gotten since I started a year ago, and I really have gained a ton of knowledge. So if you guys have any questions or need any help, please hit me up. Have a great day. God bless.